So real quick follow up, Corey, and I'm gonna ask everybody this: like, how much money can people make? Starting off in this industry. Like, can you throw like just a range of numbers out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, so actually for what I do, so my focus is facilities. So I focused on the built environment. As a facilities coordinator, it fluctuates, but I know you can come out of college. If you have a college degree, you can make about 70 something thousand coming out of college. That's not bad to come in. Now, if you get involved, it could go up. Like me, I want to be in development. I have somebody that I watch called Brandon Rule. Everybody should check him out. If you haven't heard about him, he's a developer from Milwaukee. You can make millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars doing it. So you just got to find it. Right now, I'm making a quarter million. I just got signed for $250,000. Yeah, and Chris was my reference. So and stock option. I get equity in the company as well. Like, so you're not just getting paid for your time. You also, when I build a store, that's a part of the store success. So I should get paid equity for me being a part of the vision. So you can get ownership in these companies as well on top of a paycheck. Like, and I got a suit on now, but I be in my Yankee hat. I be in whatever I want to. I'm project managing. I come pop up and see how the site is doing, and that's pretty much it. You kind of just overseeing things. Like, I don't know how to plumb. I don't know how to fix nothing. I don't know how to do nothing, but I know the right players to get. I know how to get the contracts together, and that's all you need to know. And it's all about communication in your mouthpiece. That's all you really need. Everything else they're gonna teach you along the way. You just got to get around the right people.
How does somebody get into this? Like, do you need a college degree? Like, do you go to a real estate school? Like, kind of talk about, and then what you're doing for agents through your company. Like, how are you providing these opportunities for people to get into this industry?
It's crazy, man. When I was in high school, it didn't. It was nobody ever said anything about real estate. Real estate, you don't even need a college degree. All you have to be is 18 and a high school diploma to get into real estate. So you can literally graduate, go directly into selling houses. But the thing is, I'm seeing that more and more now on it. But it's crazy. I was at the University of Alabama about 2 months ago, and they have this initiative right now. And I'm going to give y'all a little stats right now. Of realtors in the United States, African American only make up 6%. So whites make up 80%, Hispanics make 10, and African American only make 6%. So UA has this initiative to go around and telling more minorities about real estate on it. So I am starting to see those programs that come into the high school and educating people in high school about.
Did you have people around you that you could trust that kind of put you up on game? Be like, hey man, when you get your first check, this is how I want you to do. I know you want to buy you a house. I know you want to buy your mama a house. But after you do that, do this, do that. Like, did you have somebody putting you up on game? Did you have people around you that you thought you could trust? And then it turns out you really couldn't trust them? Because we hear that story all the time. So what was your experience?
So that's a two-part story. One, I didn't make that much money by my mama no house. Technically. Not the house that she wanted. I definitely could have bought the house that she in now if I would have known what I was doing from the get-go and had someone or people that I could have trusted. Now knowing what a house costs and how much real estate I do, I'm like, I damn sure could have got that, what I'm saying, back then. But man, they try to tell you to have these no man. Being at Bama, specifically Alabama, is a little bit different, man, coming from a different school. You realize you kind of have to get a team while you're still playing, but don't tell anybody. It's a little bit different now. But you couldn't maneuver. You're a little more nervous to hey, I'm gonna focus on the game instead of the outside noise kind of thing. And you're playing for saving, man. So it was one of those things, man. But I did, but again, you hear it all the time, and you're scared to make them investments from someone that you never had it before. Your mom probably struggled to put you through school or even keep the lights on or something like that. Just a lot of adversity. You're kind of like, man, I'll just hold on this business. Hopefully I'll play that next year. So when I did have my advisor, he was cool, he was stern. Unfortunately, he wasn't for me. I won't say he was bad, just say he wasn't for me. My next guy, it took my third year when the bright lights was on, the game slowed down, and I was on a tender. I could have hit big. That's when it all ended for me. I was too late. I was 3 years too late. And that's when I had a budget, even when I went to the club. Hey man, I'm 500 short. He's sending it to me in the middle of a club.
So how does somebody find out who to know? So going back to what I was asking Corey about the importance of mentors and finding a mentor, I assume, like in Corey's industry, probably all y'all industries, like it's not a lot of black folk or people of color that are doing the work that you're doing, which that can be the gift and the curse because they recognize that, like you said, Korey, the industry is getting older. They recognize we got to get more young talent, we got to get more uh, diverse talent in there, which that could really raise, folks like us, our stock when we trying to come into these industries because they know that they really need us. So, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so like for me, who I knew was my brother, of course. That's what I had starting out. Like he was the one that always just stayed on because I was working in insurance starting out. And he was like, hey man, what you doing? You could be doing, doing loans, you'd be great at it. Because one-on-one with someone, knowing what's behind the scenes. A lot of people don't get to see what's behind the scenes when it comes to the financing side. You get people that get denied for getting a house for something real simple as in not having revolving credit. Something so simple that another loan officer can tell them, then to someone like me, like, hey, this is all we got to do to get you up the par so you can get a home. So for me, it started off with my brother as well as my mentor and stuff like that.
I want to transition real quick to social media because I know a lot of young people are really into social media. And so I want y'all to talk about just the importance of like your social media brand. I know we talk about that a lot. Jeremy, you make what you do look so sexy. Uh, and I know the importance that social media has been to the growth of your industry, but I mean the growth of your business and then attracting other people to come into your industry. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna hold this little thing up right here. This cell phone. My company actually started from here. When I first got started, I didn't do any outside marketing. Everything came from Instagram, and that's how powerful social media is. And basically, what it did, it would allow me to get in front of so many people so quicker. Old school way of real estate, I would have had to probably take a billboard out. I would have to, do a huge campaign, which would cost money, which would have stopped, man. But literally, I started my company, man, and started promoting on social media. A lot of agents started following me, and then from that point, it birthed Norman and Associates. So social media is so much important right now, man. Images and how you portray yourself on. I tell all my agents right now, Instagram is nothing but a resume of who you are. For example, Kevin down there, everybody knows about Kevin and Stream Sports. He's put his videos up, and so they know if you want to have that top trainer, go to Kevin. Then Jarrell, the same thing. He had me doing crunches on the floor all the time, trying to get where he's at on it. So that's so social media would just help you get in front of the people that you need.
Hey, Corey, you mentioned earlier about mentors. Can you talk a little bit more about the importance of mentors and like any advice for a young person? How do they even approach it? How do you find a mentor and then how do you approach them?
Yeah, I mean, mentors is very, very important. I mean, I didn't really have like any leadership growing up. I never knew anybody. Like I lost my brother. I was actually born in New York City. My brother got killed at 18 years old. So for me, I had a coach. I actually used to wrestle myself. And I had a coach. Sometimes like it's hard to really say how to find one. It's kind of like they kind of find you. It's kind of like that person like just comes out of nowhere, and you might not even know at first that this person is going to be inspirational in your life going forward. But I just feel like getting yourself out there, like as a kid, go to some boys and girls clubs, like get involved in anything that you can, talk to everybody. That's what I did. That's kind of how I found Tap. Like, I found Chris just out of nowhere, and I wasn't at the point that I'm at now. I'm only 27 years old, and I'm about to lead store development nationwide, so it just was, and that didn't happen off of just what I knew, because you can know things, knowledge is power, but unless you apply it, it really doesn't mean much.